okay, 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 yeah, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. You say that you love
What's
me,
up, Denver? Welcome back to the Denver music scene. I'm your host, Benny Frank the King,
I'm Abe the President. What's going on?
and we got a special guest in the house today, here live in the studio.
Yep.
We got Denver's own Atak, baby. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, we've been meaning to have you come on for a long time. You've been putting it down for the Mile High City for a minute. So for the people that don't know, let them know, how long have you been in music?
Man, I've been dropping music since 2001. Yeah, since 2001, and then just really, I mean, I got like 20 projects altogether.
Nice.
But back then, it wasn't online. But yeah, since 2001.
That's amazing. And you're originally from Denver, Colorado, right?
Nah, originally I'm from Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I moved here, and then I moved out of here. But yeah, Denver's what I represent.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, you have some dope music, dope visuals out there that are doing numbers on the internet.
Yeah, appreciate it.
That's amazing.
So how did you get started? Like, how did your love for music and where does that all come from for you?
Man, it's just like I like being creative, you know what I mean? And like my name Attack came from I was always attacking, and people would be like, well, this is, why you always attacking? So the name Attack just came like that, and it just became an outlet, bro, instead of acting out, So, and I like being creative and just, it felt right, and I just took off with it from there.
Right.
Nice.
Do you remember recording your first song? What was that like?
Oh yeah, I remember that. It was honestly, it came out better than I thought it would.
Oh, yeah.
Because we would freestyle and tag and do all that stuff. But when we finally recorded a song, it was basically on a tape recorder, bro. And it was like a Tascam. You put a tape in there, and it was recording equipment, but it was garbage. But I liked how my voice sound, and I started doing like helping people with hooks, and then I just, I don't know, I just liked it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It just felt right.
Yeah. So you said you had over 20 projects that you had put together over the years.
Yeah, I think it's like 22, something like that. But throughout the years, 20 projects.
Right. So how have you seen? Were you in Denver when you
Yep.
first started?
Mm-hmm.
So what is the music scene? How would you compare it from when you first started in Denver at that time to now?
Well, back then you had Cutting Crew.
Mm-hmm.
And you had people on the east side, but I'm from the west side, so I looked up to like the Cutting Crew.
Mm-hmm.
But back then you just couldn't rap. You see what I'm saying? Like you couldn't just get a laptop and do it.
Right.
Get a mic and do it. You had to have some kind of hustle, some kind of money,
Mm-hmm.
or have somebody that, like we did in the hood, that, and old head Big Rob just pretty much put us on.
Mm-hmm.
And he bought the equipment, and we would just go in there and work. But that was just recording it.
Right.
Putting it out was a whole different ball game. You had to have money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it wasn't. I think it was more. I don't know about the music scene. It was real small for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like Denver had its own sound to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It had its own feel. You kind of knew the kind of beats that were coming out, no matter if it was Scratch G making the beat or, say someone with Nike Nitty's crew or, Black Hole Posse or whatever. It all kind of sound the same to me. It was
Right.
all 808s, hi-hats, fast hi-hats, kind of like not really a Memphis sound, but now when you look back, it's kind of like the new Memphis sound to
Right.
me.
Right.
Okay.
Like when I listen to old school scratch G beats, to me that sounds like a new Memphis sound.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
and I think Denver had its own sound back then. Now I think the music scene has grown. I think there's back then everything is like a ladder to me. That's how I explain it to people. It's like a ladder. So you got one person that's gonna make the road flat, and then the next step comes the next step, and then I think the more steps you get up the ladder, the better it gets.
Right.
So I think now there's a lot of different influences that kind of are that are running it, and I think, but there's like I don't know, man. There's a certain pocket of people I think that really have still a Denver sound, but it's so new to everybody
Right.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
outside of the city.
They don't know how to. They don't know how to like take it. It's like something
Yeah,
so unique that a lot of times it's hard for outsiders to process it because
Yeah.
they don't understand.
Yeah,
It's
and
just-
and I think too when I tell people, because I spend most of my time out of town. Like my whole focus since back in 2001 when I started doing music was always getting out of here.
Definitely.
I wasn't born and raised here, so I understood there's a lot more motion going on out of here.
Yes.
When I came here, it was like a culture shock, bro. It was like slow motion. I got kicked out of school,
Right.
because we always fought, and I didn't know you could really catch charges for fighting. When I
Right.
come out, I'm catching charges left and right
Man.
because that's all we did was fight. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So it's like, so I think it's so new, like, because you got good artists here like Trev and AP, and those are always the names that come up. You know what I mean? And then you have like Ameezy and Hash, and I like there's just a lot of good artists, bro. And when I put a mixtape together of all Denver rappers with Traps and Trunks, and he's a big mixtape DJ, real big mixtape DJ. And when he was here, and he's like, man, like, there's dope talent out there. I thought you was the only rapper, And when you go to Atlanta, I might be the only name that might come up out there
Right.
because I'm so involved, and you know what I mean. But even there, they're like, you don't sound like you're from here, but that's why they accepted me. So I think when more artists really start getting out and like actually putting their roots in other cities, or not even in the other city, but like in the other markets, and like okay, we got a different sound, and I think they like it because you're not trying. That's what everyone told me in Atlanta. We mess with you because you're not trying to be us.
Definitely.
Everyone comes to Atlanta and wants to be a trapper.
wants to be
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Future, Migos.
Yeah, exactly. They want to sing and rap, and they want to do this. They want to sound like Baby or Future or Thug. And I would go out there and I would work with the same producers, and I would sound like me. You know what I mean? And that's what they like.
Definitely.
Like sometimes,
Nice.
I talk like a Chicano, so they be like, "What kind of accent is
Yeah,
that?" You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like,
What-
what is that? 'Cause
Oh,
they-
yeah.
What did they? Yeah. Do you get that a lot? Like, because,
yeah.
I mean, you do have like the kind of the Denver accent,
Yeah.
and and we stand out like a sore thumb
Yeah.
sometimes when we're out of state. Like,
Oh, we do for sure. I mean, I'll be in the club in Atlanta, and people will just come up to me and be like, "I know you're something. Like, what do you do? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you look like someone important." I'm just like, Psh, I guess I am. I'm from Denver, so that's important enough. You know what I mean? And
Because
I'm
we
standing on
coordinate
business.
out here. We stay clean.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're fresh. When we go some other places, we're always fresh. At least I hope so. You know
Right.
what I mean? At least for me, when I
Yeah.
go out of state or anywhere, I want to make sure that I'm fresh. I'm not gonna go do a show and have beat up shoes on. It's gonna be a new fit, new shoes, no matter what. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Even the radio, I wear new shoes to go to work. It's got to be.
Nice.
You got to represent. Where I try to put Denver on a place when I'm out of state where it's just like this is how we do it. You know what I mean? And some
Yeah.
people, but I don't know the scene here how it gets taken when I come back is, some people like how I do it, some people don't.
right.
But hey, it is what it
Different
is.
strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
Have you been doing a lot of shows? You said you came from Chicago.
Yeah.
So what's the since you kind of have the mix of maybe Chicago and more Denver influence? How did they receive your style out there in Chicago?
Well, I mean, it's kind of the same thing. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? When I was young, my mom's from L.A., so when I was a kid growing up in Chicago, I go to L.A. in the summer and stuff. And they look at me in LA crazy. You know what I mean? Like, who is this?
Right.
And I would really get beat up out there. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't in the that kind of vibe. You know, I
Right,
wasn't rocking Dickies or, you know, I wasn't,
right.
like an essay.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
So they didn't really accept that out there. But I think Denver, Chicago style, at least for like the Chicanos, kind of the same thing, bro.
Yeah, I kind of got that same vibe too.
Yeah.
You come across people from Chicago, like Ken Flores, he's from Chicago, the comedian.
Yeah.
He definitely like took us in, like he felt like he was just at home. He said,
Yeah. You know, it's like I think Chicago gets a bad rap, but you know, it's always been a crazy city, bro. It was built by the mafia. You know what I mean?
Right.
So there's a lot of division out there for sure.
"Oh yeah,
You know,
definitely."
but I think here's the same way. I think honestly, when Denver learns how to break them barriers down and really get off the street stuff and the west side, you know, the Chicanos are over here, you know, you got black folks in Aurora, you know, and it's not like a racial divide, it's just a divide.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
Right.
I can go to any club, you know, and rock with everybody. You know what I mean? It's not a race. It's just the way the city has been divided through all these generations.
Yes,
It's just hard to get those bridges.
definitely.
You know, and if you look at cities like New York, cities in Florida, Texas, where there's a good mix of black and Latinos, I guarantee if they did not rock together, they would not be on.
Right.
They would not. If Texas didn't, if the black folks and the Chicanos in Texas didn't rock together, they don't have to rock together on every level.
Definitely.
But as far as representing the city, making music, putting the city on, they have to rock together. And when we start doing that here, I promise you, that's when the power is it's gonna turn on like a light switch.
Right.
And I've been saying that for a long time.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's
100%.
kind of one we've noticed that too. I mean, just not even in music. It's just kind of been like that just because of just the way the history of the
Yeah.
city and the state of how people have just divided themselves, segregation and
Yeah.
all that. But like you said, it's still there. But I think it is time to just everybody, like I think it's there, and some people don't even realize it's there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it is. But like you said, once we knock down these walls, unite the city together, bring people together,
And I really think that it's starting to get to that.
yeah.
You know, I'll be honest with you. I said it on Dirty Glove on Off the Porch. The DJs do not rock with the artists here. And I got people were just in my inbox. Oh, you gotta. I said, I don't gotta explain nothing. I said, bro, if you're the one mad about it, bro, then that's the problem.
Right.
Because the people, they're doing what they're supposed to do. See, I'm kind of artist where I get out of state, so I understand the DJ, that's his job. And as an artist, if I want him to play my music, I'm not just telling him to play my music because I'm cool. Or like Symes, we're cool. But I'm not going to tell him, hey, play my record because we're cool. No, that's his job. And when he's in the club, I'm going to throw him some bread. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not talking like you got to break them off and break.
Right,
'cause
right. Just
that
take care of them.
payola stuff is ridiculous.
Yeah, no,
You
not
know,
in
but-
a payola situation. Just
Right.
take care of your guys. Everybody take care of each
exactly.
other, and it's not
You know,
always.
I would reach out to different DJs and tell them, hey, bro, you know, this is my new record. I want, you know, I'll throw you a couple $100. Spin it a couple times. Let me know how it goes.
Right.
And they'd shut it down.
Well, when we get back, we're gonna get more into this Denver music scene and all the dope things you got coming up and the projects that you got working on. This is the Denver music scene.
Mamba
My exes still got issues with the old me, old me. You knew me, but right now you don't know me, know me. I had to level up, that's what they told me, told me. Now when I shoot my shot, I be like.